Hello everyone. You know what they say, if you have free time, just upload videos on YouTube. So since I have free time, I just want to upload another video on YouTube. And today I want to leave my 2 cents on what does the peace deal after Iran war mean to the region and the entire of the world. And I will try to explain what does Islamabad Agreement will bring to the region and future of Iranian regime, the Islamic regime of Iran. Like I mentioned in the previous analysis, which you can find on the tab, the link, this agreement and the war itself concern many governments and many actors in from Atlantic to the Middle East and even Asia Pacific regions. So let's dive in. First of all, this agreement and weakening of Islamic regime of Iran means a lot of means end of a geopolitical anomaly, which I call. Pre-Islamic regime, Iran was subordinate power in the Middle East, and I'm talking about before 1979. So naturally, there was a sort of rivalry between Iran and other countries in the region, like Saudi Arabia and Israel and even Turkey you can count. But this rivalry has never been a hostility between these actors. Yet, after Islamic Revolution in 1979, Iran recoded its enemies. I call it recoding enemies. And Israel was at the top of this list of the enemies, of course. All we know of the material reasons, all we are aware that material reasons behind the hostility between Iran and Israel, like ambition of being hegemony in the region, the Middle East region, control of trade and energy routes, proxies and military bases, and so on and etc. So, but there are beyond of these reasons, there are some reasons which I call theological reasons. And first one of that theological reasons is that Islamic regime hoped to get more popularity from Muslims across the world, from Sunni Muslims especially, since they are Shia regime, and they hoped to get this popularity by attacking the biggest enemy of Islam, which which one I'm talking about, which country they are talking about. And for sure, it will bring a great popularity to Iran to be only Islamic country who solved Palestinian issue. Palestinian issue is like very emotional issue for all Muslims. Let's say most of the Muslims. It used to be very sensitive and very emotional case. So being only country or first Islamic country who solved this, I'm saying solving this issue, will bring a lot of popularity to Islamic regime. This is what they were calculating, but the truth is way more different actually. Considering the investment the regime made to its proxies in Middle East like Hamas and Hezbollah and so on, what Iran gained in exchange of this investment is too little. First, to say Palestine in sake of Islam didn't work because during the Cold War, the Palestinian cause was more like issue of left parties. More like socialism, and sorry about the wind by the way. It was more like cause of global left and socialism, and it was a piece of part of Cold War actually, not an Islamic way. So after the Cold War, after 90s, the issue of Palestine has become more like issue of Arabic nationalism rather than Islam, or rather than issue of all Muslims. Well, let's give credit to Iranian regime. They somehow contributed to Palestinian issue, Palestinian case or cause or however you call it, to become an issue of Islam somehow. Of course, effort of other Muslim countries like Turkey, undeniable. But like I said, what regime has planned didn't work at all. For instance, remember the investment Iranian regime made to Hamas, the only Sunni proxy of Iran in the Middle East, or one of the rare one. Right after October 7th, Hamas found another boss or another allies, let's say, in a more political way, while Iranian regime, Islamic regime, is falling apart. They didn't hesitate to find other collaborators, and they sort of sold Iranian regime out very easily and easier than people were expecting. And since, I mean, that's one of the reasons that I'm calling end of geopolitical anomaly. The hostility between Iran and Israel, I would say, kind of artificial hostility. Through the history, when you have a quick look, Shias have been more neutral to Israel or Jews or let's say their ancestors, while Sunni Muslims have been more anti-Israel. Yeah, traditionally, I mean, let's call it out how it is. Sunni Muslims are more like anti-Israel through the history. But today we are witnessing a Sunni pact is brewing by Turkey, Saudi, Egypt, and Pakistan. So that is the normal one. I mean, normal one. It's not because I'm defending this pact. I'm not taking their side at all. But what I want to say is the Sunnis are traditionally and historically are anti-Israel rather than Shias. So the artificial rivalry and hostility created an geopolitical anomaly. So the things are getting more normal. This is why I call it end of geopolitical anomaly. So those who follow me will remember that I often say there's a slim chance that Iranian regime or whatever remains after regime from the regime and USA will have a compromise to balance this rising anti-Israel Sunni coalition. Thus, I wouldn't be surprised that Islamic regime of Iran, which is still, I mean, strongest Shia state of the planet. They are still strongest Shia element or government or regime, whatever you call it, on the planet, will remain in power longer than some people or many people are expecting, because they want to, USA and Israel want to balance this Sunni pact with Shia government, the strongest Shia government. That makes pretty sense to me. This is why I am not surprised that the regime is still there. Yeah, they are very weak. They are not strong. Compared to previous years, regime lost a lot of control over the people, over the geopolitics, in terms of law, military, economy, and so on, etc. But I will say the regime still has something to do, and this time it will be in benefit of USA and Israel. Like I said, it's a slim chance. We are not fortune teller, but what's happening on the ground, saying the slim chance is getting a little bit stronger, I would say. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I appreciate if you comment, share, and like or do whatever. And thank you so much. See you next time.